Our planet is far greater and more extraordinary than we often realize. From towering cliffs, carved with human-like faces deep in the mountains, to white waterfalls pouring down sheer rock walls, and life clinging to ledges where survival seems impossible. There are massive mining pits cut deep into the earth, lakes with strange, swirling drain holes, powerful water jets rising straight from calm surfaces, ships gliding quietly beneath canal bridges, colorful towns wrapped around turquoise rivers, and raging rapids where humans struggle against the current. Within these landscapes, people live, observe, and enjoy nature, turning Earth's raw gifts into moments of experience, discovery, and connection. Even if it takes a lifetime to uncover every hidden wonder, these breathtaking places are undeniably worth seeing. And now, let's explore them together in today's video. Decebalus Rex is located in the Iron Gates Gorge along the Danube River and is the largest rock-carved sculpture in Europe, marking the border region between Romania and Serbia. The monument was shaped using more than 1 ton of explosives to remove raw stone, followed by 10 years of work by 12 sculptors who were also trained rock climbers operating on suspended scaffolding. The sculpture reaches a height of about 141 feet, with facial features built at a scale far exceeding normal human proportions. Its construction site sits directly above the Danube, where the river reaches depths of up to 394 feet, making the transport of heavy machinery extremely difficult. The statue faces across the river toward a stone inscription honoring Roman Emperor Trajan, representing a historical confrontation between two ancient powers. Located at the center of Singapore Changi Airport, HSBC Rain Vortex is the tallest indoor waterfall in the world, with a height of about 131 feet. The structure is enclosed by a massive glass dome, composed of more than 9,000 specialized glass panels, without central support columns, forming a circular opening that allows water to fall vertically. Each minute, more than 9,800 gallons of rainwater pass through the waterfall, collected directly from tropical rainfall and reused for the building's passive cooling system. Surrounding the waterfall is an artificial tropical valley containing over 60,000 plants from multiple regions, creating a self-contained ecological environment inside the airport complex. This area allows waiting passengers to move through and observe dense vegetation under controlled microclimate conditions. In the evening, lighting and sound systems activate, projecting multicolored light directly onto the falling water to form a 360-degree water-based display. The Corinth Canal is a man-made cut carved deep through the Greek isthmus, often described as a geological slash, with an extremely narrow width and limestone walls rising nearly 300 feet. The canal stretches 4 miles in length, appearing like a straight fissure with smooth rock faces enclosing turquoise water below. At both ends of the canal at Izmir and Posidonia, submersible bridges are used, allowing the entire roadway to sink beneath the water when ships pass. The great depth combined with minimal side clearance requires ships to navigate with near absolute precision. In 2019, the MS Braemar, measuring 74 feet wide, became the widest vessel to transit the canal, leaving less than 3 feet of space on each side. Although only 4 miles long, the canal allows ships to save about 430 miles compared to sailing around the Peloponnese Peninsula. Covão dos Conchos is an engineered structure located in the Serra da Estrela Mountains of Portugal, often described as visually unusual due to its perfectly circular form and water flow disappearing into its center. The site is, in fact, a spillway, built in 1955 as part of a local hydroelectric system designed to regulate reservoir water levels. It can absorb large volumes of water and channel the flow through a tunnel extending more than 4,900 feet straight through the mountain. The spillway features a bell-shaped design with a circumference of about 157 feet, directly connected to a tunnel excavated through dense granite rock. Over more than 70 years, moss and aquatic vegetation have gradually covered the concrete surface, creating a continuous year-round water flow. Rishikesh known as the yoga capital of the world, is a unique junction where the sacred Ganges River emerges from the Himalaya range and begins its course across the Indian subcontinent. The area hosts hundreds of ashrams and yoga training centers, attracting thousands of people from around the world to study physical and mental discipline practices. The city is located within a narrow valley confined by steep cliffs of the world's highest mountain range and is connected by large suspension bridges spanning the river. Unlike downstream sections, the Ganges at this location flows directly from high-altitude sources, giving the water a clear turquoise color and noticeably lower temperature. Along the riverbanks, you can observe ascetic practitioners maintaining long-term outdoor lifestyles, living close to natural surroundings alongside wildlife such as monkeys and leopards. Beyond its religious role, Rishikesh also functions as a hub for adventure sports, including white water rafting on the Ganges and bungee jumping across the valley. The Dead Sea is described as the lowest place on Earth, a saline basin located more than about 1,411 feet below sea level, where several natural processes operate differently from ordinary lakes and seas. This area is a completely enclosed drainage basin, where river water flows in without any outlet to the ocean, causing salt and minerals to accumulate continuously to extreme saturation levels. Instead of sandy beaches, the shoreline features salt formations crystallized into mushroom-shaped islands and sharp-edged salt structures forming directly within the water. Salinity in the Dead Sea reaches around 34%, producing strong, buoyant force that prevents the human body from sinking, and you can remain afloat on the surface without effort. The mud and water contain high concentrations of minerals such as magnesium, calcium, and potassium, which are commonly extracted for dermatological uses. Under these chemical conditions, no fish or higher plants survive, and each year the water level drops by more than about 3 feet, triggering the sudden formation of thousands of sinkholes along the shoreline. Lake Geneva, also known as the Sea of the Alps, is one of the largest freshwater bodies in Western Europe, located along the border between France and Switzerland and functioning as a major regional water reservoir. The lake basin was carved by ancient glaciers over millions of years and contains submerged canyons reaching depths of up to about 164 feet below the surface. Due to the lake's length and surface curvature, when standing at one end, you cannot see the opposite shore because of the Earth's curvature effect. The lake surface frequently experiences the Fata Morgana mirage, caused by light refraction through air layers of differing temperatures that distort distant mountains or structures. Historically, the lake has recorded a large wave event reaching roughly 52 feet in height, generated by underwater landslides and impacting shoreline settlements. Lake Geneva holds approximately 89 billion cubic meters of water, and on average it takes more than 11 years for a single drop of water to travel from the inflow to the outflow of the lake system. Lake Braies is not merely a scenic destination, but is known as the Jewel of the Impossible for its exceptional clarity, located in the heart of the Dolomites World Heritage Site in northern Italy. Though it reaches a depth of about 118 feet, the lake remains fully transparent, and during winter, the entire water body transforms into a solid ice sheet capable of supporting thousands of people. Rather than forming from gentle inflows, the lake originated from a catastrophic mountain collapse that created a natural dam, trapping the water between towering cliffs. Suspended at an elevation of nearly 4,900 feet above sea level and enclosed by limestone walls nearly 3,300 feet high, the lake forms a natural amphitheater for sound reverberation. Unique mineral content in the water produces a powerful mirror effect, and at certain angles, observers lose all spatial orientation due to the seamless reflection of sky and terrain. In 1945, the lake was used by Nazi forces as a detention site for high-ranking hostages during the final days of World War II, where the water temperature rarely exceeds 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Landwasser Viaduct is a representative railway structure in Switzerland, noted for its direct integration of stone construction with the steep rock faces of the Alps. The bridge measures about 466 feet in length, following a tight curve suspended above the valley before carrying trains straight into a tunnel carved into the cliff wall. Completed in 1901, the viaduct was built without conventional scaffolding, relying instead on tower cranes erected from a gorge roughly 213 feet below. The entire structure consists of natural stone and lime mortar with no steel reinforcement, yet it meets the load requirements of rail traffic in high mountain conditions. With a height comparable to a 20-story building and a curve radius of about 328 feet, it represents a strict physical threshold for mountain railway operation. For more than 120 years, the bridge has remained in continuous operation under heavy snow and strong alpine winds. Marmore Falls, also known as Cascata delle Marmore, is not a natural formation but the tallest man-made waterfall on Earth, a hydraulic system maintained by humans for more than 2,000 years. In 271 BC, Roman engineers cut through limestone mountains to force the Velino River to plunge down a vertical drop of about 541 feet to manage flooding and drainage. The waterfall operates with a flow control mechanism that allows the massive volume of water to appear or disappear on schedule, turning a dry cliff into a white cascade after a warning signal. Water with extremely high calcium carbonate content constantly precipitates and forms a hard travertine crust across the surface, gradually altering the waterfall's structure over centuries. A specialized diving bird species penetrates the high-pressure water curtain to nest and hunt inside the falls, an environment where most other organisms cannot survive. For centuries, observers, including poets and religious leaders, documented frequent rainbow formations under strong sunlight, caused by light scattering through dense water mist. Mir Mine in Russia is the largest man-made diamond pit on Earth, often referred to as the navel of the planet due to its immense scale and scar-like form. The mine is shaped like a massive funnel, with spiral roads descending into the void, where a modern city sits directly beside a chasm deeper than 1/3 of a mile. The pit reaches a depth of about 1,720 feet and spans nearly 3,900 feet in diameter, large enough to contain the Eiffel Tower and valued at an estimated $17 billion. During the 1960s, Mir Mine produced roughly 4,400 pounds of diamonds per year, becoming a critical driver of Soviet economic recovery after World War II. The Danakil Depression functions like a natural furnace of Earth, holding the record for the highest average annual temperatures and ranking among the harshest environments humans can reach. It lies about 410 feet below sea level and formed at the junction of 3 major tectonic plates, where the crust is so thin that heat from underlying magma can be felt near the surface. The landscape is hard to believe, marked by neon green acidic pools, bright yellow sulfur vents, and volcanoes containing permanent lakes of molten lava. Extreme acidity and saturated salt levels create near-sterile zones where even microorganisms cannot survive. Intense geological activity fills the air with heavy sulfur odors similar to rotten eggs, forcing travelers to cover their faces to breathe. Despite these alien conditions, camel caravans have crossed the White Salt Plains for centuries to extract what is known as white gold. Often referred to as the eighth wonder of the world, Milford Sound is a fjord located deep within the Fiordland region of New Zealand, where sheer cliffs rise directly from sea level to heights exceeding 4,000 feet. The area allows observation of waterfalls whose falling water is deflected by strong winds, dispersing the flow into the air before it reaches the sea surface. Average annual rainfall reaches about 275 inches, causing thousands of temporary waterfalls to appear simultaneously after heavy rain events. Temperate rainforest vegetation clings tightly to near vertical rock faces, forming a continuous green cover from mountain summits down to the waterline. Several cliffs in Milford Sound rank among the tallest and steepest coastal cliffs in the world, rising more than 3,000 feet from the fjord floor. Because a dark freshwater layer limits light penetration near the surface, you can observe black coral, which typically lives deeper than 1,600 feet, at depths of only about 33 feet below the surface. Ali, also known as Ngari, is a distinctive region located in the northwestern part of the Tibet Autonomous Region of China, and it is often referred to as the roof of the world, because its average elevation exceeds 14,700 feet. The landscape of Ali consists of high, barren mountain ranges with dominant red, brown, and silver gray tones shaped by extreme weathering at high altitude. Steep rock cliffs in the region preserve the remains of the ancient Guj Kingdom, including hundreds of caves, palaces, and religious structures carved directly into the mountainside. This area serves as a sacred center for major belief systems such as Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Bon, where pilgrimage rituals focus on natural sacred features. Ali is regarded as the source region of several major Asian rivers, as the Indus, Ganges, and Brahmaputra rivers originate from glaciers located within this area. With an extremely low population density, most of Ali lacks natural woody vegetation, supporting only low grasses, mosses, and gravel due to insufficient oxygen levels for large plant growth. Located at an elevation of more than 5,200 feet on the slopes of Mount Sumbing, Butu village, also known as Nepal Van Java, is a settlement built directly onto steep volcanic terrain on the island of Java, Indonesia. The residential layout consists of hundreds of brightly colored houses stacked in a three-dimensional terraced structure extending upward along the mountainside. Because of the extreme slope, no two houses share the same horizontal level, and the roof or courtyard of one home often serves as the foundation or pathway for the house above it. Internal access routes include narrow paths with inclines reaching up to about 148% grade, where standard automobiles are unable to operate effectively. To adapt to these conditions, residents rely mainly on specialized motorcycles or move on foot along stepped paths connecting housing clusters. Agricultural activity takes place on sharply inclined fields, and rooftop spaces of lower houses are commonly used as walkways or drying areas for crops belonging to households higher on the slope. Gawula Pass is a well-known stopping point in Tibet, located along the route leading toward the Everest region and widely recognized in overland journeys across the plateau. The site is noted as a rare location where 5 of the 14 highest mountain peaks on Earth can be viewed simultaneously under favorable weather conditions. From the top of the pass, the field of view reveals a continuous line of snow and ice-covered summits, forming a bright horizon against the plateau's sky. Reaching this elevation requires traveling a road with 108 consecutive hairpin turns, reflecting the steep and complex terrain of the area. At sunset, angled sunlight striking the permanent ice fields can produce a visible color shift on the snow surface, commonly described locally as a transformation from silver to gold. In the cold and sparsely inhabited environment, thousands of multicolored prayer flags are suspended along the pass, moving constantly in strong winds and generating a continuous ambient sound associated with pilgrimage activity. Iguazu is the largest waterfall system on Earth, located along the border between Argentina and Brazil, where water converges into a hydrological structure exceeding other waterfall systems worldwide. The system extends across an arc nearly 1.9 miles long and consists of about 275 individual waterfalls distributed along a horseshoe-shaped curve measuring roughly 1.7 miles. The waterfalls plunge from vertical basalt cliffs reaching heights of up to 262 feet, creating continuous water curtains at multiple elevation levels. During peak flow periods, discharge rates reach approximately 13 million liters per second, indicating an extremely high level of hydraulic energy within the system. The cliff faces behind the waterfalls provide nesting sites for great dusky swifts, a bird species adapted to flying directly through heavy water spray to reach its nests. Due to persistent mist, combined with sunlight or moonlight entering the plunge basin, daytime rainbows and nighttime moonbows can form under suitable atmospheric conditions. Taj Lake Palace is one of the world's most iconic hotels, located in the city of Udaipur and widely known for its white marble architecture and its position at the center of Lake Pichola. The structure was built in 1746 during the reign of Maharana Jagat Singh II, after he was restricted from hosting celebrations at the main royal palace on land. The interior layout features open courtyards, fountains, and colonnaded corridors designed to channel breezes from the lake through the living areas. Munnar is located at an elevation of about 5,250 feet in India, where it contains some of the world's highest altitude tea plantations and is described as a green geometric wonder due to its distinctive cultivated landscape. The surface of the region is not natural forest, but consists of billions of tea bushes trimmed with uniform precision and covering steep granite slopes. Because of its elevation, Munnar is frequently enveloped in dense fog and low-moving cloud layers that drift close to ground level and significantly reduce visibility. Every 12 years, the entire mountain region shifts from green to purple during the mass blooming of the Nilakurinji flower, most recently recorded in 2018, with the next cycle expected around 2030. Tea harvesting takes place on steep terrain, where workers operate under hazardous conditions and may encounter wild elephants or forest animals emerging suddenly from fog that limits visibility to under about 6 feet. While surrounding regions can experience temperatures reaching about 104 degrees Fahrenheit, temperatures in Munnar can drop below freezing, allowing frost to form and freeze tea leaves. Saturnia Hot Springs is known as the Scars of Gods, a surreal maze of travertine limestone terraces formed entirely by extreme geological activity over thousands of years. Each drop of water takes exactly 40 years to travel through limestone layers several hundred feet deep before emerging at the surface as mineral-rich hot spring flow. Upon contact with open air, the saturated water instantly precipitates calcium carbonate, sculpting pure white travertine basins without any human intervention. The entire system maintains a constant temperature of 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, within an atmosphere dense with sulfur and geothermal gases often described as the breath of the underworld. The outflow rate reaches up to 800 liters per second, allowing the hot mineral waters to be completely refreshed every 4 hours. A unique algae called thermal plankton lives in the water and forms a biofilm when exposed to air, exfoliating the skin and leaving it smooth like after a luxury spa treatment. Chehel Burj is an ancient mud-brick fortress isolated in the Sistan frontier, known for being one of the most complex earthen defensive structures ever constructed. The entire complex was built from sun-dried clay mixed with straw, arranged into 3 concentric defensive walls connecting hundreds of cylindrical watchtowers. Legend says the name 40 Towers is actually a spiritual code, as the real number of towers far exceeds that and becomes uncountable from the horizon. Basilica di San Valentino is regarded as the black heart of human love, the only place on Earth that preserves the original remains of Saint Valentine, the global symbol of romantic devotion. The structure was built directly atop an ancient Roman necropolis, turning the entire sanctuary into a monument of life rising from total decay. His remains have been astonishingly preserved for more than 1,700 years in a damp crypt, leading researchers to question whether an unknown biological mechanism has frozen time at this location. Every year, on the Sunday before February 14th, thousands of couples from across Europe gather here to take vows and receive blessings beside his tomb. Fellaria Glacier is one of the most majestic ice formations in the Alps of Italy, known as a miniature Arctic lost in the heart of Europe, with scenery so surreal it feels unreal. At its end lies a massive vertical wall of blue ice that collapses directly into a milky turquoise lake, forming an extremely rare geological structure. Located at an elevation of over 8,500 feet, the lake at its base is a recent phenomenon, formed entirely from the glacier's melting water over just the past few decades. This is the only place in continental Europe where you can witness the phenomenon known as ice birthing, as millennia-old ice blocks break off with cannon-like sounds and float across the rocky valley. Amid the cold and barren stone desert, wild animals like the alpine ibex can still be spotted balancing along steep cliffs near the glacier. With its alarming melt rate, thinning the ice by several feet each year, Fellaria is not just a wonder, it is a vanishing landmark. Mangkang Salt Fields is a rare cliffside salt production system that preserves a manual salt-making method more than 1,300 years old, attached directly to the rock walls of the Langkang River Canyon. The salt pans are not built on flat ground, but are constructed on a large wooden scaffolding network anchored into the cliff face to create working surfaces. Brine is transported from underground wells along the riverbank to the elevated salt pans through manual channels that rely on gravity and terrain slope. Differences in mineral composition and geographic position between opposite riverbanks result in two salt colors, with one side producing white salt and the other producing naturally light pink salt. Beneath the wooden structures, long-term brine leakage crystallizes into hanging salt formations, resembling stalactite-like deposits forming directly on the cliff. By long-standing tradition, women handle water carrying and salt harvesting, while men manage transport and trade using horses. Jodhpur is a large and symbolic city located in the state of Rajasthan, in western India, also known as the Sun City, due to its consistently high levels of sunshine throughout the year. The most recognizable feature of the city is the blue color covering most residential buildings within the old quarter. This blue paint was initially used by the Brahmin caste to mark their homes and later spread across the area based on beliefs that it helps reduce heat absorption and limits insects in the desert climate. In contrast to the blue residential areas, royal structures in the city were constructed primarily from yellow desert sandstone, creating a clear material and color distinction. The city's landscape is dominated by a massive fort positioned atop a rocky hill, rising about 410 feet above the surrounding neighborhoods. Within the old city, the urban layout forms a dense network of narrow, winding alleys, where falcons and semi-wild monkeys occupy cliffs and elevated structures, forming a distinctive urban ecosystem above residential spaces. Zizhu Temple is a suspended sanctuary of the ancient Bon religion, regarded as the highest and most difficult to access monastery in Tibet, located at an elevation of nearly 15,700 feet on an isolated limestone mountain. The area contains a natural geological structure known as the Heavenly Gate, a large opening that cuts through the mountain body formed by long-term weathering and collapse processes. The entire complex is not built on flat ground, but is anchored directly into vertical rock faces, with shrines and wooden walkways attached along sharp stone pillars. The surrounding terrain includes numerous natural caves, historically used by monks for extended retreat, while internal connections rely on narrow and steep stone stairways running along cliff edges. Due to its remote location and extreme topography, only a very small number of people from outside regions were able to reach the site over many centuries. With a history exceeding 3,000 years, the monastery represents one of the few places where humans have sustained religious practice under conditions of oxygen levels reduced to about half of those at sea level. Yamrock Lake, also known as Yamrock Yumtso, is one of the 3 largest sacred lakes in Tibet and is referred to as the Mirror of the Goddess because of its vivid, turquoise-colored water. In the Tibetan language, the name of the lake means Swan Lake on coral reefs, based on its branching shape when viewed from above. Although it is not the largest lake in Tibet by surface area, its highly irregular outline gives it a shoreline length exceeding about 155 miles. The lake is surrounded by permanent snow-covered mountain ranges, with Mount Nojin Kangzang visible in the distance, and during winter, the frozen surface develops natural cracks and ice patterns. Fish reserves in the lake are estimated at around 800,000 tons, but local communities rarely fish or consume them due to religious beliefs linking fish with the passage of souls. Viewed from satellite imagery or from Gawula Pass, Yamrock does not appear as a typical enclosed lake, but instead shows multiple elongated branches extending through rocky valleys. The Jata Earth Forest is the largest and most extensive earth forest in the world, formed from sedimentary layers of an ancient lake that existed millions of years ago. The entire area represents the former lakebed of an ancient body of water, uplifted to elevations exceeding about 13,100 feet by powerful tectonic movements linked to continental collisions. The landforms were not shaped by human activity, but by infrequent rainfall and dry plateau winds, which erode softer material and leave behind hardened earth pillars with highly varied shapes. Because the formations consist of alternating layers of clay and sand with different compositions, their colors range from yellow and reddish-brown to silvery gray, depending on solar angle and light intensity. Most of the material is dry sand and clay, making the structures highly vulnerable to collapse during major storm events. As a result, the shapes of the earth pillars in Jada undergo subtle changes each year due to ongoing erosion processes. The Guj Kingdom was the largest ancient capital ever established in Tibet, a honeycomb-style settlement carved directly into steep earthen cliffs within the arid Ngari Plateau. This political entity existed from the 10th century to the 17th century and played a central role in the second transmission of Buddhism into Tibet. The entire complex contains more than 400 rooms and around 800 artificial caves stacked vertically inside a red earthen mountain, built from rammed earth and mud bricks matching the surrounding terrain. The spatial layout clearly reflects social hierarchy, with the highest levels reserved for the king and royal family, while common residents occupied lower caves near the base of the mountain. Despite more than 1,000 years of erosion and the collapse of the kingdom, temple murals retain high visual detail due to pigments made from powdered gold, silver, and crushed gemstones. Caieteur Falls is a large-scale natural landmark located deep within the Amazon rainforest of Guyana. The waterfall stands at about 741 feet tall, roughly 4 times higher than Niagara Falls, and about twice the height of Victoria Falls, and it is the largest single-drop waterfall in the world by water volume. The cliff over which the water plunges is composed of hard sandstone and quartz, part of an extremely ancient geological formation dating back billions of years. Due to high tannin concentrations from decaying rainforest vegetation entering the Pataro River, the falling water often appears dark brown, similar to strong tea. The site provides habitat for the endemic Kaieteur golden frog and swift birds that regularly fly through the falling water to nest in rock cavities behind the cascade. The most common access is by small aircraft using a runway near the top of the falls, allowing you to walk only a few minutes to reach the cliff edge. Castello Aragonese is a historic fortress built on a small, volcanic rock island, connected to the island of Ischia in Italy by a long stone bridge crossing the sea. The site dates back to about 474 BC, while its present form largely reflects 15th century construction under Alfonso V of Aragon as a coastal defensive stronghold. The fortress stands isolated on a massive magma rock rising sharply from the sea, creating a naturally separated topography. Rather than being built only on the surface, a large tunnel was carved directly through volcanic rock to provide access from the base to the upper sections of the fortress. Within the complex are terraced gardens, olive groves, and vineyards positioned close to steep cliffs, indicating mixed military and residential use. In the convent area, deceased nuns were historically placed on perforated stone seats, known as putridariums for natural decomposition, and today visitors reach the summit using a modern elevator system running through the rock. Meenakshi Amman Temple is a prominent symbol of ancient Dravidian architecture, a large-scale sacred complex once nominated among the new Seven Wonders due to its exceptional sculptural density and scale. Among them, the southern tower is the tallest, reaching a height of about 171 feet and serving as the primary spatial landmark of the site. The surfaces of these towers are covered with more than 33,000 carved figures of deities and mythological beings, all painted with traditional mineral-based colors. The Ayiram Kal Mandapam Hall contains 985 stone columns, arranged according to precise geometric rules, producing straight, visual alignments from any viewing position.